When starting a grid drawing, it is important to have the proportions of the grid laid out first. In this case, we have a 2-inch by 2-inch image that we are enlarging to a 6-inch by 6-inch. Rather than attempting to draw either image, we will grid down. This is the process of creating smaller and more manageable portions when drawing. Once we start drawing the image, we may see that we need a little extra help. So by gridding it even further will help us to prevent any mistakes. The next image we're going to draw is from a coloring book. It is a very simplified dog, and we are going to grid it just the way we did the heart drawing. We simply need to start off by figuring out the quadrants. In this case, we are going to separate it out. We are going to grid down and make this easier for us to draw. Note that I will number and letter my grid so that I don't accidentally draw in the wrong section. As long as I am staying to one block at a time, it makes things easier. For our final grid drawing, we will be working from a photograph. In this case, we have a sepia that we have made into a black and white image of the dog. Now we are tracing the highlights and the shadows of the image before we get started on the grid drawing. Now you should be able to see the difference between the black and white and the sepia tone that we have created so that you can actually see the outline of the major points that we need to draw for our final drawing. Now you can see the different steps that we've taken throughout the process of grid drawing. We've gone from the original to the black and white, and eventually we have transferred that over to our actual grid drawing, which I've outlined in blue. And then this one is a copy of that to make it easier for us to actually shade. The shading process is actually very simple. You go with the darkest areas first. You shade in as dark as you possibly can with your pencil. I'm just using a regular number 2 here and pressing down as hard as I can in these particular areas. Note that where it is darker, I try to press down as hard as I possibly can, even going over some areas more than once. Once this darker area has been completed, then I will switch gears and start using a lighter touch with my pencil. Note how the eye is slightly darker than the areas above in the ears. And as we speed up, you can see how I continue with the dark area, eventually switching out to highlighted areas, leaving them white and keeping the medium tone lighter gray than the rest of the image.